Being gay or homosexual was not openly accepted during the golden age of Hollywood, but that didn't stop many famous actors from living their truth, albeit in secrecy. The pressure to maintain a certain image was immense, as careers often depended on adhering to society's strict expectations. Yet, behind closed doors, several stars navigated personal relationships that defied the norms of their time. Here are 24 Golden Age actors who secretly had affairs with men, but publicly denied it. Liberace. Liberace was closeted and never publicly acknowledged that he was gay, but his sexuality was an open secret in showbiz circles. Liberace testified under oath that he was not gay and had never been involved in homosexual activity, but nobody still believed in him. Liberace was known for his taste for Mexican boys, his prodigious sexual appetite, and his fondness for rough trade. Liberace hired Thorson to be his personal friend and companion when Thorson was 18. Some say that the two had a 5-year romantic relationship. The biopic Behind the Candelabra focuses on Liberace's relationship with Thorson. The film stars Michael Douglas as Liberace and Matt Damon as Thorson. Liberace denied everything. He was even involved in 2 lawsuits related to his sexuality. First was with Daily Mirror, when Liberace sued the Daily Mirror over an article that described him in an innuendo-laden way. Second one was with Palimony, where Liberace's former chauffeur, Scott Thorson, sued Liberace for $113 million in palimony after being let go. Liberace denied that he was homosexual and insisted that Thorson was never his lover. The case was settled out of court in 1986. In a 2011 interview, actress and close friend Betty White confirmed that Liberace was indeed gay, and that she often was used as a beard by his managers to counter public rumors of the musician's homosexuality. Laurence Olivier. Since Olivier's death, multiple biographers have produced books about him, several of which include the claim that Olivier was bisexual. Biographer Donald Spoto claimed that Danny Kaye and Olivier were lovers. Joan Plowright, Olivier's widow, denies the affair with Kaye in her memoir. Terry Coleman's authorized biography of Olivier suggests a relationship between Olivier and an older actor, Henry Ainley, based on correspondence from Ainley to Olivier, although the book disputes that there is any evidence linking Olivier sexually to Kaye. Olivier's son Tarquin disputed these rumors as unforgivable garbage and sought to suppress them. Laurence married 3 times, his first marriage to actress Jill Esmond. Next was Vivian Leigh. This was a passionate and long affair, which ultimately unraveled due to his inability to cope with her emerging bipolar disorder. Olivier's final wife was Joan Plowright. Olivier was plagued with bisexual rumors throughout his career, including one particular scandal claiming that he had a 10-year-long affair with Danny Kaye. In his autobiography, Olivier admitted to being attracted to Kaye, but says he never acted on his attractions. In addition to this, Olivier's official biographer found records that Olivier had at least one same-sex affair in his youth with an actor named Henry Ainley, Cary Grant. Grant denied being gay during his lifetime, famously quipping, "I don't care what people say. Hell, I'm not going to go through life with one hand tied behind my back just to please a few people." Despite his denials, his close relationships and the enduring rumors have made him a key figure in discussions about closeted stars in Hollywood's golden age. While he was married 5 times to women, rumors of his relationships with men have persisted for decades, fueled by close relationships, shared living arrangements, and Hollywood gossip. One of the most talked about aspects of Grant's life was his relationship with fellow actor Randolph Scott. The two shared a Malibu beach house, famously dubbed Bachelor Hall, for over a decade in the 1930s and 1940s. Photos of the pair lounging by the pool, cooking together, and generally appearing as a domestic couple have added fuel to the speculation. They were inseparable, prompting many Hollywood insiders to believe they were romantically involved. Studios worked hard to frame their relationship as a bromance and paired them with female stars to counter rumors. Grant's relationship with designer Ori Kelly, whom he lived with early in his career, is another key point of discussion. Ori Kelly, openly gay and one of Hollywood's most celebrated costume designers, wrote about their relationship in his memoir, though the book was not published until decades later. According to Ori Kelly, their bond was deep and romantic before Grant became a household name and pursued a more conventional public image. Another name often linked to Grant is actor Scotty Bowers, who worked as a Hollywood fixer and claimed in his memoir, Full Service, to have arranged same-sex encounters for Grant and other stars. While Bowers' accounts have been contested, they added to the narrative surrounding Grant's private life. Grant's marriages, particularly his first to Virginia Cherrill, have also drawn attention. Cherrill claimed Grant was controlling and aloof, which some interpreted as a sign of his hidden struggles with his identity. Divorce papers from one of his marriages reportedly included accusations of intimate relationships with men, though these claims remain unverified. Ramon Novarro. Ramon Novarro, a prominent actor of Hollywood's silent and early sound eras, is widely recognized for his secret relationships with men during a time when homosexuality was not publicly accepted. Known for his roles in films like Ben-Hur in 1925, Novarro carefully concealed his personal life to preserve his career and avoid societal backlash. Despite his public image as a romantic leading man, Novarro's relationships with men were an open secret among Hollywood insiders. Friends and colleagues later recounted his struggles with maintaining his private life in an industry that strictly enforced heteronormative ideals. He lived discreetly, but privately embraced his identity, forming connections with other men in his social and professional circles. Tragically, his sexuality became a focal point in his untimely death. In 1968, Novarro was brutally murdered in his home during a robbery orchestrated by two young men. Sensationalized reports unfairly emphasized his sexuality, overshadowing his career achievements. His death became a stark reminder of the dangers and prejudices faced by pride individuals during his time. Charles Laughton. Laughton's bisexuality was corroborated by several of his contemporaries and is generally accepted by Hollywood historians. Hollywood procurer and prostitute Scotty Bowers alleged in his memoir Full Service that Laughton was in love with Tyrone Power and that his sex life was exclusively homosexual. During a period of his life after his marriage, the emotional center of his life shifted. He began to come to terms with his homosexuality, which he had furtively pursued since the 1920s, while maintaining the facade of his marriage to Elsa Lanchester. Eventually, he started to have sustained relationships with men. He also felt an impulse to teach, which he did in Los Angeles, with mentors including Marilyn Monroe and Shelley Winters. He took to the American University touring circuit with celebrated readings from the Bible, then with a superb evening called Charles Laughton, the Storyteller, and he returned to the stage as both actor and director. James Dean. James Dean, the quintessential rebel of the 1950s, lived a life that defied conventions. His bisexuality was an open secret among his peers, with whispers of relationships with both men and women. Dean's charm attracted numerous admirers, including influential men in Hollywood. His rumored relationship with producer Rogers Brackett was particularly noted, as Brackett is said to have played a significant role in advancing Dean's career. Despite the rumors, Dean's enigmatic persona allowed him to remain a captivating figure. His untimely death at 24 cemented his legacy as a cultural icon, leaving behind questions about what he might have revealed had he lived longer. Rock Hudson. Rock Hudson, one of Hollywood's most iconic leading men, was known for his dashing looks and charismatic on-screen presence. Behind the scenes, however, Hudson's private life was a closely guarded secret. While publicly linked to numerous actresses for appearances, he was romantically involved with several men during his career. His homosexuality was an open secret in Hollywood, but the fear of scandal kept him silent. Hudson's close friends and colleagues protected his secret, understanding the risks he faced in a homophobic industry. His relationships, including a significant one with his partner Mark Christian, were largely hidden from public view. Tragically, Hudson's battle with AIDS in the 1980s brought his private life into the spotlight. He became one of the first major celebrities to die of the disease, sparking widespread awareness and advocacy. Montgomery Clift. Montgomery Clift was a trailblazer in Hollywood, bringing a new level of emotional depth to his roles. Off-screen, Clift was a deeply private man who struggled with his sexuality. He was romantically linked to both men and women, maintaining discreet relationships with male partners throughout his career. Clift's friendship with Elizabeth Taylor was one of his most notable connections. She remained a confidant and ally as he navigated the pressures of fame and secrecy. Clift's struggles with substance abuse and his tragic early death at 45 have often been linked to the stress of hiding his true self in a judgmental industry. His work remains influential, a testament to his talent and resilience. Anthony Perkins. Anthony Perkins, best known for his role as Norman Bates in Psycho, lived a life marked by duality. While publicly married to photographer Barry Berenson, Perkins had numerous relationships with men, including a rumored affair with dancer and choreographer Rudolf Nureyev. Perkins's bisexuality was an open secret in Hollywood, but he remained cautious about revealing too much. The era's stigma forced him to compartmentalize his personal and professional lives. Perkins's life was tragically cut short when he died of AIDS-related complications in 1992, but his legacy as a complex and talented actor endures. Marlon Brando. Marlon Brando, a revolutionary figure in Hollywood, was open about his fluid sexuality later in life. Known for his groundbreaking performances and rebellious spirit, Brando admitted to having had relationships with men, including rumors about a liaison with actor James Dean. Brando's candidness about his experiences was rare for his time, breaking taboos in a highly conservative industry. One of the most talked about rumored relationships in Brando's life was with fellow actor James Dean. The two were said to have shared an intense, though possibly tumultuous, connection. While neither Brando nor Dean ever publicly confirmed a romantic relationship, numerous biographers and Hollywood insiders have speculated about their bond. Some accounts describe Brando as the dominant figure in the relationship, allegedly toying with Dean's affections while remaining emotionally distant. Another name often linked to Brando is writer and activist Wally Cox, Brando's childhood friend and lifelong confidant. Brando was deeply attached to Cox, even keeping Cox's ashes in his home after his death, reportedly next to his own bed. While their friendship was undeniably close, whether it crossed into a romantic or sexual relationship has never been confirmed, though it has been widely rumored. Tab Hunter. Tab Hunter, the blonde, blue-eyed heartthrob of 1950s Hollywood, lived much of his life hiding a significant secret. He was gay. In an era when being openly gay could end a career, Hunter carefully maintained a public image of the all-American, heterosexual leading man, even being paired with female stars like Natalie Wood for publicity. However, behind the scenes, Hunter was navigating a different reality. Hunter's most significant relationship was with figure skater and actor Ronnie Robertson. Though their connection was never public, their bond was well known in Hollywood's inner circles. Hunter also had a close relationship with Anthony Perkins, the star of Psycho. The two shared a romantic relationship in the 1950s, but it was kept under wraps due to the pressures of the studio system. Perkins, like Hunter, was also a closeted gay man, and their relationship ended as both men dealt with the challenges of maintaining their careers in a hostile environment. One notable incident occurred in 1955 when Confidential magazine, infamous for outing celebrities, threatened to expose Hunter's sexuality. Warner Brothers, the studio backing Hunter, intervened to protect their investment in his rising stardom. The studio orchestrated publicity dates with actresses and kept his private life tightly controlled. It wasn't until decades later that Tab Hunter embraced his truth, coming out in his 2005 memoir, Tab Hunter Confidential. His story highlights the intense pressures of Hollywood's golden age and his quiet resilience in living authentically despite the odds. Randolph Scott. There's been a lot of speculation about Randolph Scott, one of Hollywood's most iconic leading men. Was he gay? While Scott never publicly addressed his sexuality, rumors have swirled for decades, and they mostly center around his relationship with Cary Grant. Yes, that Cary Grant. The two lived together in a beachfront home in Malibu for over a decade in the 1930s and 1940s. They even posed for photos together that showed them looking more like a couple than just roommates. Some people called their home the Bachelor Hall, but others whispered it was more of a love nest. Now, were they partners? Some Hollywood insiders believed they were, though the studio system at the time worked overtime to suppress any rumors. Scott also married twice, which some argue was a way to keep up appearances, but others believe his marriages were genuine. As for partners, it's hard to say how many relationships Scott might have had with men. Cary Grant is the most talked about connection, and there's no concrete evidence pointing to other male partners. But one interesting example often brought up involves a Hollywood party where Scott and Grant were spotted spending an unusual amount of time away from the crowd, deep in conversation, and seemingly lost in their own world. The host reportedly joked about them sneaking off, fueling more gossip. Whether or not Randolph Scott was gay remains a mystery, but his close bond with Cary Grant has made him a fascinating figure in Hollywood history. It's a story that's as much about what's unsaid as what's known. Sal Mineo. Sal Mineo's sexuality and secret relationships with men are widely supported by historical accounts, his own statements, and the cultural context of his era. Mineo, best known for his role as Plato in Rebel Without a Cause in 1955, was described by peers as a sensitive and introspective individual. His early experiences of abuse and objectification, as recounted by those close to him, shaped his complex understanding of sexuality. Tennessee Williams highlighted how Mineo, even as a child, navigated a world that commodified his beauty and sexual identity. These experiences likely fueled his empathy and connection to the LGBTQ+ community. By the 1960s, Mineo became increasingly involved in artistic projects that explored themes of homosexuality. He directed and starred in Fortune and Men's Eyes, 1967, a play about homosexuality and prison life, and played a bisexual character in P.S. Your Cat is Dead in 1976. Such roles reflected his willingness to engage with topics that mirrored aspects of his own life, despite the stigma of time. In a 1972 interview with Bose Hadley, Mineo discussed his bisexuality, an admission rare for Hollywood actors in an era of intense scrutiny and homophobia. While not entirely open about his relationships, Mineo's choice of roles and candid remarks indicated his comfort with his identity within trusted circles. Mineo's murder in 1976 became a flashpoint for speculative and often cruel commentary, reinforcing the prejudices of the time. The media sensationalized his death, framing it as a byproduct of his sexuality rather than a tragic crime. However, those close to him, including Hadley and other contemporaries, portrayed Mineo as a trailblazer who embraced his identity despite societal pressures. Farley Granger. Farley Granger, renowned for his roles in Alfred Hitchcock's Rope and Strangers on a Train, led a personal life that was discreetly complex, especially concerning his relationships with men. In his memoir, Include Me Out, My Life from Goldwyn to Broadway, Granger candidly discusses his bisexuality and details his romantic involvements with both genders. One of Granger's significant relationships was with playwright Arthur Laurents, whom he met in the late 1940s. Their romantic involvement lasted about a year, evolving into a lifelong, albeit tumultuous, friendship. Granger also had a brief affair with composer Leonard Bernstein during the filming of Side Street in 1949. Bernstein even invited Granger to join him on a South American tour, but by the time Granger completed his film commitments, Bernstein had married Felicia Montealegre. Despite this, the two men remained friends until Bernstein's death. Granger's most enduring relationship was with television producer Robert Calhoun. Their partnership spanned over 3 decades, lasting until Calhoun's death in 2008. Throughout his career, Granger maintained a level of discretion regarding his sexuality, a necessity in an era when open acknowledgement could have jeopardized his professional standing. However, within the entertainment industry and among close associates, his relationships with men were known and accepted. In his later years, Granger embraced his identity more openly, reflecting on his experiences without shame or regret. His memoir serves as a testament to his journey, offering insights into the challenges of navigating personal authenticity within the constraints of Hollywood's golden age. Clifton Webb. He never really told anyone directly that he was homosexual, but he never really hid it either. He wasn't ashamed to be who he was and never regretted it. Though Webb played a gossip columnist on the silver screen, he couldn't prevent conversations of his sexuality from constantly being had in real-life media. He was linked romantically to James Dean, though there is no proof of this to be found. He never married and was never seen out on dates. Everyone associated him with his love for his mother, who was his date to parties and movie premieres. Often awarded the honor of best dressed in Hollywood, Webb seemed to be held to many stereotypes. His sexuality is assumed because of the way he acted, dressed, looked, and talked. He was not afraid to act outside of the strictly enforced gender roles of the 40s and 50s. However, we do have some proof that Webb was not exactly straight. He was known to hit on young men at parties. His co-worker Robert Wagner stated that he knew Clifton was gay, but he never hit on him. Scotty Bowers, the author of Full Service, a book I have a lot of issues with, said he arranged gay tricks for Webb, though I don't believe much of what Bowers wrote. More signs point to Webb as queer than they do anything else. Webb did what he could in the era he lived in. When he passed away in the 60s, the Stonewall riots were still years away. Being openly gay was not exactly an option. Regardless of staying closeted, knowing that his sexuality was something people during the Golden Age knew about and seemingly accepted, paved the way for the future of LGBT actors in Hollywood. Dirk Bogarde. Dirk Bogarde was in a long-term relationship with his manager, Anthony Forwood, and they lived together for almost 40 years. His sexuality was an open secret within the entertainment industry and among his close friends. However, Bogarde never publicly acknowledged his relationship with Forwood or came out as gay. The risks to his career were too great, with studio contracts at the time explicitly prohibiting deviant sexual behavior, and even rumors about one's personal life could end a flourishing acting career. In 1961, Bogarde took a bold step by starring in Victim, a groundbreaking film where he portrayed a gay man caught in a blackmail scheme. This was a significant moment in British film history, as it was the first to use the word homosexual in its narrative. The role was risky, but demonstrated Bogarde's dedication to meaningful storytelling, even at the expense of potential backlash. At the peak of his popularity, Bogarde was England's most beloved actor, and was even considered for the iconic role of James Bond. Despite his success, he navigated the complexities of his private life with discretion, balancing fame with the need to keep his identity hidden. His legacy reflects the tension between societal constraints and personal authenticity, as well as his bravery in subtly challenging norms through his work and choices. Richard Chamberlain. Chamberlain was involved romantically with actor Wesley Ure in the 1970s. In 1977, Chamberlain began a long-term relationship with Martin Rabbitt, an actor, like Ure, 20 years his junior. Richard Chamberlain kept his homosexuality a secret for most of his career, choosing not to publicly disclose his relationships with men due to concerns about his acting career, and only came out publicly in his 2003 memoir, Shattered Love. He was involved in a long-term relationship with actor Martin Rabbitt for many years. Richard Chamberlain, one of TV's most beloved leading men, captured hearts as the sensitive Dr. Kildare and the passionate priest in The Thornbirds. Yet behind the scenes, Chamberlain lived with a secret that he feared could ruin his career. He was gay. For decades, he kept this hidden, believing that revealing his sexuality would cost him leading roles and public admiration. In the Hollywood of his era, being a gay actor was a career risk, especially for someone seen as a romantic heartthrob. Chamberlain later admitted that he felt he had no choice but to stay in the closet. In his own words, there is still a tremendous amount of homophobia in our culture. For a gay leading man, it's dangerous to come out. Despite the progress made by the LGBTQ+ community, Chamberlain emphasized that the entertainment industry remains rooted in outdated prejudices. He even advised other actors to keep their sexuality private if they wanted to sustain their careers. It's just silly for a working actor to say, "Oh, I don't care if anybody knows I'm gay," he explained, highlighting the ongoing stigma. Chamberlain finally came out in 2003 in his memoir, Shattered Love. By then, he no longer felt the pressure to maintain his romantic leading man image. Reflecting on his decision, he said, "I can talk about it now because I'm not afraid anymore." His courage to speak openly came after years of navigating Hollywood's unspoken rules, a journey that highlights the struggles faced by LGBTQ+ actors of his generation. John Gielgud. Sir John Gielgud, born in 1904, was a distinguished British actor whose career spanned over 8 decades, earning him acclaim in theatre, film, and television. Despite his professional success, Gielgud's personal life was marked by the challenges of being a gay man during a time when homosexuality was both socially stigmatized and criminalized in the United Kingdom. In 1953, Gielgud faced a significant personal and professional crisis when he was arrested in Chelsea for importuning for immoral purposes, a charge related to soliciting homosexual acts, which were illegal at the time. This incident subjected him to public scrutiny and personal humiliation. However, the theater community's support was evident when, following the arrest, Gielgud received a standing ovation during his next stage performance, signaling a disconnect between public affection for his artistry and the era's legal and social prejudices. Gielgud's correspondence reveals his internal struggles with his sexuality and the fear of exposure. Letters to his long-term partner, Martin Hensler, disclose his anxieties about being publicly outed and the potential repercussions on his career and personal life. Despite these challenges, Gielgud maintained a discreet yet enduring relationship with Hensler, who was 30 years his junior, and remained his companion until Hensler's death shortly before Gielgud's own passing in 2000. Throughout his life, Gielgud navigated the complexities of his sexual identity within the constraints of his time. While he did not publicly acknowledge his homosexuality, his contributions to the arts and the gradual shift in societal attitudes toward LGBTQ+ individuals have led to a posthumous recognition of his role as a significant gay figure in theater history. Tyrone Power. Tyrone Power was a star whose personal life was shrouded in mystery. Known for his dashing good looks and magnetic performances in films like The Mark of Zorro and Blood and Sand, Power also led a private life that didn't always align with the heteronormative expectations of the golden age of Hollywood. While married 3 times to women, Power was widely rumored to have had relationships with men, a topic that remained hidden due to the societal and industry pressures of his time. His bisexuality was an open secret among Hollywood insiders. Accounts suggest he had affairs with men during his rise to fame, including rumored relationships with actor Cesar Romero and a number of prominent men within the industry. Despite his public persona as a romantic leading man, Power's personal life was carefully managed by studio executives to maintain his appeal to audiences. Power's struggle to reconcile his private desires with his public image reflects the challenges faced by LGBTQ+ actors in a deeply homophobic era. His untimely death at 44 left questions unanswered, but his enduring legacy as a talented and complex individual adds depth to his story, both on and off the screen. Van Johnson. Van Johnson was a prominent Hollywood actor from the 1940s and 1950s. He was widely rumored to be gay, though he never publicly acknowledged his sexuality during his lifetime. His clean-cut, all-American image made him a beloved leading man, but it also required him to conform to the rigid expectations of a conservative society and industry. Johnson's marriage to Evie Wynn, the ex-wife of actor Keenan Wynn, was reportedly orchestrated by MGM Studios to dispel rumors about his sexuality and preserve his image as a romantic hero. Industry insiders and biographers have noted that Johnson had discreet relationships with men, which he kept hidden to protect his career. Hollywood's strict morality clauses and the societal stigma around homosexuality during that era left him little choice but to live a double life. Despite his struggles to conform to societal norms, Johnson is remembered as a talented actor who starred in films like the human comedy 30 Seconds Over Tokyo and Brigadoon. His life highlights the immense pressures faced by LGBTQ+ actors in classic Hollywood and serves as a reminder of the courage required to navigate a hostile environment while staying true to oneself in private. Roddy McDowall. McDowell was a child actor who appeared in films such as Murder in the Family, 1938, How Green Was My Valley in 1941, My Friend Flicka in 1943, and Lassie Come Home also in 1943. He later moved to New York to act on Broadway and at the Stratford Festival. He also became a naturalized U.S. citizen in 1949. McDowell was never married and had no children. McDowell often played camp frustrated bachelors in his later career. Although he never came out publicly, it was well known that the British-American actor was gay. He died from lung cancer in 1998 at the age of 70. James Whale. James Whale, the director of classic horror films like Frankenstein and The Invisible Man, was openly gay in a conservative industry. Whale was an openly gay man in Hollywood in the 1930s, which was not an easy life. The two Frankenstein films were a way for Whale to give a coded clue to his queerness and his feelings of being an outsider. Gods and Monsters gives us this with understated intelligence and elegance. Whale's longtime partner David Lewis wrote, "Jimmy was first and foremost an artist. His films represent the work of an artist, not a gay artist, but an artist." Whale's relationships with men were no secret, but his career suffered as Hollywood's tolerance waned. His life and struggles were later depicted in the film Gods and Monsters, highlighting the complexities of being a pride artist in a restrictive environment. Michael Redgrave. The BBC documentary Michael Redgrave, My Father, narrated by Corin Redgrave, discussed Michael's bisexuality in some depth. Rachel Kempson recalled that when she proposed to him, Redgrave said that there were difficulties to do with his nature, and that he felt he ought not to marry. She said that she understood, it didn't matter, and that she loved him. They married in 1935 and stayed together for 50 years until Michael's death. Redgrave's male lovers included Noel Coward in the late 1930s. During the filming of Secret Beyond the Door, in 1948, Redgrave met Bob Michel. They became lovers, and Michel set up house close to the Redgraves, becoming a surrogate uncle to Redgrave's children who adored him. Michel later had children of his own, including a son he named Michael. Michael admitted to his son, "I am, to say the least of it, bisexual." Corin encouraged him to acknowledge his bisexuality in his last autobiography. Michael agreed, but in the end, he chose to remain silent. He died in 1985 of Parkinson's disease. Among his effects was a card with W.H. Auden's words, "The word is love. Surely one fearless kiss would cure the million fevers." George Nader. George Nader, a leading man of the 1950s, sacrificed his career to protect his close friend Rock Hudson from being outed. Nader's own homosexuality was an open secret, but he lived a discreet life with his partner, Mark Miller. Nader's decision to prioritize his personal integrity over his career has made him a quiet hero in LGBTQ+ history. Ramon Estevez, Martin Sheen. Ramon Estevez, famously known as Martin Sheen, has long been a revered figure in Hollywood, celebrated for his acting talent and his fearless advocacy for social justice. However, whispers about his personal life, particularly during the early stages of his career, suggest a more complex story. Rumors of Sheen's secret relationships with men have circulated for decades, though he has never publicly confirmed or denied these claims. At a time when such relationships were taboo, especially for an actor aspiring to leading man status, Sheen is said to have navigated these liaisons with discretion, ensuring his private life remained out of the public eye. Hollywood in the mid-20th century was notorious for its unforgiving attitude toward LGBTQ+ actors, forcing many to live double lives. Sheen, while outwardly maintaining a heterosexual public persona, allegedly fostered deep and meaningful connections with men who shared his world. Despite the secrecy, those close to him often admired his ability to balance his personal desires with the pressures of the industry. As his career flourished, Sheen became an outspoken ally for LGBTQ+ rights, adding weight to the speculation surrounding his past. His rumored affairs with men, though unconfirmed, add another layer to his legacy as a man who championed authenticity and equality in a restrictive era. These actors and their stories reflect the complex interplay between identity and industry in classic Hollywood. Their courage and talent have left an indelible mark, inspiring future generations to live authentically and pursue their passions fearlessly.
Hollywood's golden age was a time full of glamour, dreams, and very famous stars. But behind the bright lights and movie screens, many of these stars struggled with personal problems that sadly led to their tragic deaths. The strong pressure from big movie studios often required actresses to be perfect, controlling every part of their lives, from how they looked in public to their private relationships. This made it hard for them to show their true feelings. So many women had to hide who they really were behind carefully crafted images. Let's dive into the lives of actresses who chose to end their own lives. Carole Landis. Carole Landis, born Harriet Caroline Haver on July 1, 1919, was a beloved American actress and singer who captivated audiences in the 1940s with films like 1,000,000 BC and CoverGirl. Known for her radiant smile and vivacious personality, Carole quickly became a favorite in Hollywood. However, behind the scenes, Carole struggled with severe depression and financial instability. Her marriage to actor John Shelton was tumultuous and ended in divorce, exacerbating her emotional distress. The pressures of maintaining her career and personal life, coupled with the lack of mental health support during that era, left Carole feeling isolated and overwhelmed. On July 5, 1948, at the age of 29, Carole Landis took her own life in Los Angeles, California. Barbara Bates. Barbara Bates was an American actress who rose to fame with her role in All Through the Night and solidified her status with Mildred Pierce. Born on January 6, 1925, Barbara's promising career was overshadowed by personal and health struggles. She battled chronic pain and diabetes, which significantly affected her quality of life and her ability to continue working steadily in Hollywood. Additionally, Barbara faced emotional challenges, including depression, which were exacerbated by the physical ailments she endured. On March 22, 1969, at the age of 59, Barbara Bates died by suicide in Corona, California. Her death underscored the severe emotional and physical hardships she faced, illustrating how chronic health issues and emotional distress can lead to tragic outcomes. Bella Darvi. Bella Darvi, born Bella Dawidowska on January 14, 1928, was a French-Polish actress who made a significant impact in Hollywood during the early 1950s. She starred in films such as Viva Villa and Crime and Punishment, showcasing her captivating presence and talent. Despite her rising fame, Bella's personal life was marked by instability and conflict. Her marriage to renowned director Vittorio De Sica was tumultuous and ended painfully, contributing to her emotional turmoil. Additionally, Bella faced financial difficulties and struggled to maintain her career momentum in the competitive Hollywood landscape. On March 7, 1971, at the age of 36, Bella Darvi died by suicide in Paris, France. Faith Bacon. Faith Bacon was a young American actress who appeared in several films during the 1930s, including Stage Mother and Second Honeymoon. Born in 1938, Faith began her career as a child star, a role that brought early fame but also significant personal challenges. Transitioning from child stardom to adulthood is notoriously difficult, and Faith struggled with the pressures of maintaining her public image and finding meaningful roles as she grew older. The lack of adequate support systems and understanding for mental health issues during that time left Faith feeling isolated and emotionally distressed. On December 4, 1956, at the age of 18, Faith Bacon took her own life in Los Angeles, California. Mary Nolan. Mary Nolan, born Imogen Robertson on August 24, 1905, was a prominent American actress and singer known for her work in films like Hell's Angels and Flesh and the Devil. Her career spanned both the silent and early sound eras, showcasing her versatility and talent. Despite her professional achievements, Mary faced significant personal struggles, including substance abuse and depression, which affected both her personal life and career. Her tumultuous marriage to actor Lew Ayres ended in divorce, adding to her emotional distress. As the film industry evolved, Mary found it increasingly difficult to secure roles, leading to a decline in her career and financial instability. These factors, combined with ongoing mental health issues, left Mary feeling hopeless and isolated. On April 24, 1965, at the age of 59, Mary Nolan died by suicide in Palm Springs, California. Lupe Velez. Lupe Velez was a Mexican actress and singer celebrated for her vibrant and spirited performances in films such as Hot Pepper and Laughing Boy. Born on July 18, 1908, in San Luis Potosí, Mexico, Lupe moved to the United States to pursue a career in Hollywood, where her fiery personality and dynamic screen presence earned her the nickname the Mexican Spitfire. Despite her professional success, Lupe's personal life was marred by instability and conflict. Her marriage to famed Olympic swimmer Johnny Weissmuller was tumultuous, marked by frequent arguments and infidelity. Additionally, Lupe faced financial problems and struggled to maintain her career amidst the demands of a male-dominated industry. The combined pressures of her personal life and professional responsibilities took a significant toll on her mental health. On December 14, 1944, at the age of 36, Lupe Velez died by suicide in Glendale, California. Ona Munson. Ona Munson was an American actress best known for her portrayal of Belle Watling in the classic TV series Gone with the Wind. Born on April 8, 1890, Munson had a long and varied career in both stage and screen acting, appearing in numerous films and theater productions. Her role as Belle Watling made her a memorable character in one of Hollywood's most iconic stories. Despite her professional success, Ona Munson faced significant personal struggles, including depression and financial issues. The pressures of maintaining her career in a competitive industry, along with the lack of adequate mental health support, left her feeling overwhelmed and emotionally distressed. On March 29, 1955, at the age of 64, Ona Munson died by suicide in New York City, New York. Her tragic death highlighted the silent battles faced by actors behind the scenes, emphasizing the critical need for mental health awareness and support within the entertainment community. Joan Dowling. Joan Dowling was a British-American actress who appeared in films like The Time, the Place, and the Girl. Born on October 2, 1915, Joan moved to the United States to pursue her acting career, where she found moderate success in Hollywood. Despite her talents, Joan faced significant personal and professional challenges. She struggled with depression and the pressures of maintaining her acting career during a tumultuous time, including the impact of World War II on the film industry. The competitive nature of Hollywood and the constant demand to stay relevant added to her emotional distress. On January 9, 1945, at the age of 29, Joan Dowling died by suicide in Los Angeles, California. Her tragic death was a result of the emotional distress and professional stress she endured, reflecting the intense pressures faced by actresses in maintaining their careers during difficult times. Florence Lawrence. Florence Lawrence, often referred to as the first movie star, was a pioneering Canadian-American actress who made significant contributions to early cinema. Born on January 2, 1886, in Ontario, Canada, Florence became one of the first actresses to gain public recognition and a fan following, a novelty in the silent film era. She starred in numerous films for the Biograph Company, establishing herself as a leading figure in the burgeoning film industry. Despite her groundbreaking role in cinema, Florence faced financial difficulties and health issues later in life. The lack of residuals and support for actors during that time meant that many early stars like Florence struggled financially as the industry evolved. On December 28, 1938, at the age of 52, Florence Lawrence died by suicide in Ottawa, Canada. Her tragic death was influenced by mounting personal challenges, including financial instability and declining health. Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe, born Norma Jean Mortensen on June 1, 1926, was one of the most iconic and enduring symbols of Hollywood's golden age. Known for her roles in classics like Some Like It Hot and The 7-Year Itch, Marilyn's beauty, charm, and talent made her a beloved figure worldwide. However, behind her glamorous facade, Marilyn struggled with profound personal issues, including chronic anxiety, depression, and substance abuse. Her tumultuous relationships, including her marriages to Joe DiMaggio and Arthur Miller, further complicated her emotional state. The relentless pressures of fame, coupled with the invasive scrutiny of the media and public, left Marilyn feeling isolated and overwhelmed. On August 5, 1962, Marilyn's tragic end highlighted the intense personal struggles that can lie behind the allure of celebrity, making her death a poignant symbol of the darker side of Hollywood fame. Helen Twelvetrees. Helen Twelvetrees was an American actress known for her poignant roles in films like Three on a Honeymoon and Lloyds of London. Born on December 16, 1908, Helen's career thrived during the early sound era of Hollywood, where she became known for her ability to portray complex emotional states on screen. Her performances resonated with audiences, earning her critical acclaim and a loyal fan base. However, behind her professional success, Helen faced significant personal struggles. She battled depression and suffered from chronic health issues, including cancer, which caused her immense physical pain and emotional distress. The combination of her deteriorating health and the emotional toll of her acting career left Helen feeling overwhelmed and hopeless. On September 7, 1958, at the age of 49, Helen Twelvetrees died by suicide in Santa Monica, California. Her tragic end underscored the harsh realities of mental health struggles compounded by chronic illness, even among those who appeared strong and successful in their professional lives. Dorothy Abbott. Dorothy Abbott was an American actress who appeared in films during the 1930s and 1940s, known for her work in The Lady is Willing and Good News. Born on April 21, 1916, Dorothy pursued a career in Hollywood with enthusiasm, securing roles that showcased her charm and talent. However, Dorothy's personal life was marred by depression and the decline of her acting career. The competitive nature of the entertainment industry and the pressures to maintain her status as an actress contributed to her emotional distress. As her career waned, Dorothy faced increasing financial difficulties and a sense of lost purpose, which deepened her feelings of despair. On September 7, 1980, at the age of 64, Dorothy Abbott died by suicide in Los Angeles, California. Her tragic death highlights the profound impact that professional struggles and personal mental health challenges can have on individuals, even those who have achieved success in their careers. Clara Blandick. Clara Blandick was an American actress best known for her role as Auntie Em in the classic film The Wizard of Oz. Born on July 18, 1880, Clara had a long and varied career in both stage and screen acting, embodying nurturing and maternal characters with grace and warmth. Despite her professional achievements, Clara faced significant personal challenges later in life. She struggled with depression and the emotional toll of aging, compounded by personal losses that left her feeling isolated and despondent. The lack of adequate mental health support during her time exacerbated her feelings of despair, making it difficult for her to seek the help she needed. On March 14, 1962, at the age of 81, Clara Blandick died by suicide in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Her tragic ending highlights the silent battles many individuals face with mental health, regardless of their public persona or professional success. Dorothy Hale. Dorothy Hale was an American actress who starred in silent films such as The Country Flapper and A Sailor-Made Man. Born on June 2, 1901, Dorothy enjoyed a flourishing career during the silent film era, captivating audiences with her spirited performances and youthful energy. However, the transition to sound films posed significant challenges for many silent film stars, including Dorothy. She struggled to adapt to the new demands of the industry, leading to a decline in her acting opportunities and professional success. The loss of her career momentum, coupled with personal despair, took a severe toll on Dorothy's mental health. On May 14, 1938, at the age of 37, Dorothy Hale died by suicide in Los Angeles, California. Maggie McNamara. Maggie McNamara was an American actress and singer renowned for her captivating performances in both film and theater during the 1950s and 1960s. Born on October 1, 1928, in Chicago, Illinois, Maggie quickly rose to prominence with her role in the Broadway production of Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, where her powerful portrayal earned her critical acclaim. Her film career included notable performances in movies like The Time of Their Lives, 1966, alongside Peter Falk and Shirley MacLaine. Despite her professional success, Maggie grappled with profound personal struggles. She battled severe depression, a condition that was poorly understood and stigmatized during her time. The pressures of maintaining her career in a competitive industry, coupled with personal losses and the absence of adequate mental health support, left Maggie feeling isolated and overwhelmed. On July 22, 1978, at the age of 49, Maggie McNamara took her own life in her Los Angeles home. Joyce Jameson. Joyce Jameson is an American actress best known for her roles in films such as Valley of the Dolls, 1967, and Where the Boys Are, 1960. Born on December 20th, 1937, in Chicago, Illinois, Joyce built a successful career in both film and television, becoming a familiar face to audiences in the 1960s. Throughout her career, she portrayed a variety of characters, showcasing her versatility and talent. As of the latest information available up to 2023, Joyce Jameson is alive and has not been involved in any incidents of taking her own life.
The golden age of Hollywood was a time of glamour, talent, and unforgettable films. But behind the bright lights and red carpets, many actresses faced immense personal struggles. In this video, we delve into the lives of 26 actresses who, despite their success, encountered challenges that led to tragic ends. Their stories remind us of the importance of mental health and the unseen battles many face in pursuit of fame. Peg Entwistle. Peg Entwistle was a promising British-born actress who began her career on Broadway, earning acclaim for her stage performances. Hoping to transition to the silver screen, she moved to Hollywood with dreams of stardom. In 1932, she landed her first film role in 13 Women. However, the film did not achieve commercial success, and her scenes were significantly reduced in the final edit. Struggling with the harsh realities of the film industry and facing the disappointment of a faltering career, Peg found herself battling feelings of isolation and despair. The immense pressure and unfulfilled expectations weighed heavily on her. At just 24 years old, her life ended tragically. Peg's story became a poignant symbol of the challenges faced by aspiring actors in Hollywood, highlighting how dreams can sometimes lead to heartbreaking realities. Miroslava Stern. Known professionally as Miroslava, she was a Czech-born actress who became a luminous star in Mexican cinema during the 1940s and 1950s. After fleeing Europe during World War II, she settled in Mexico and quickly captivated audiences with her performances in films like La Muerte Enamorada and Ensayo de un Crimen. Despite her professional success, Miroslava faced deep personal turmoil. Reports suggest she experienced profound heartache due to unreciprocated love, which greatly affected her emotional well-being. The combination of personal struggles and the pressures of fame created an overwhelming burden. At the age of 30, her life came to a sorrowful end. Miroslava's passing highlighted how personal pain can overshadow public acclaim, reminding us that success does not shield one from life's hardships. Margaret Sullivan. Margaret Sullivan was an American actress celebrated for her delicate portrayals and distinctive voice that resonated with audiences. She's shown in classic films such as The Shop Around the Corner, alongside James Stewart and Three Comrades. Her performances were known for their authenticity and emotional depth. Behind the scenes, Margaret grappled with personal challenges. She suffered from a hearing impairment that increasingly affected her work and struggled with episodes of depression. These issues strained her relationships and added pressure to her career. At 50 years old, her life ended unexpectedly. While her death was officially deemed accidental, it raised awareness about the mental and physical health challenges faced by performers, emphasizing the need for understanding and support. Diana Barrymore. Born into Hollywood royalty, Diana Barrymore was the daughter of the legendary actor John Barrymore. She pursued acting on both stage and screen, appearing in films like Between Us Girls. Despite her family's prestigious name, Diana's career was overshadowed by personal struggles. She battled with addiction and faced tumultuous relationships, both personal and professional. The weight of her family's expectations and her own demons took a significant toll on her life. At 38, Diana's life ended in tragedy. Her story serves as a stark reminder of how the pressures of legacy and personal turmoil can lead to devastating outcomes, highlighting the importance of addressing mental health issues. Pina Pellicer. Pina Pellicer was a Mexican actress who garnered critical acclaim for her role opposite Marlon Brando in One-Eyed Jacks. Her portrayal was praised for its depth and vulnerability, showcasing her exceptional talent. She also starred in Macario, a film that received an Academy Award nomination for Best Foreign Language Film. Despite her achievements, Pina struggled with feelings of inadequacy and battled depression. The contrast between her public success and private despair was profound. At the age of 30, her life was cut short. Pina's passing drew attention to the silent struggles many face, emphasizing that fame does not equate to happiness and highlighting the need for empathy and support. Dorothy Dandridge. A trailblazer in Hollywood, Dorothy Dandridge was the first African-American woman nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actress for her role in Carmen Jones. She captivated audiences with her performances and broke racial barriers in the industry, also starring in Porgy and Bess. Despite her groundbreaking accomplishments, Dorothy faced systemic racism, limited opportunities, and personal setbacks. The challenges of navigating an industry fraught with discrimination added immense pressure to her life. At 42, Dorothy's life ended prematurely. While her death was officially ruled accidental, it underscored the significant obstacles she faced. Her legacy continues to inspire, reminding us of the resilience required to overcome societal barriers. Barbara Bates. Best known for her role as Phoebe in the classic film All About Eve, Barbara Bates was a talented actress who appeared in several films and television shows throughout the 1950s. Her portrayal of the ambitious young character left a lasting impression on audiences. Behind her bright smile, Barbara battled mental health issues, including depression and anxiety. The pressures of the entertainment industry and personal challenges weighed heavily on her. At 43, her life ended tragically. Barbara's story highlights the often unseen struggles faced by those in Hollywood, emphasizing the importance of mental health awareness and the need for compassionate support systems. Carolyn Craig. Carolyn Craig gained fame for her role as Nora Manning in the horror classic House on Haunted Hill. She also made appearances in various popular television shows during the 1950s and 1960s, showcasing her versatility as an actress. Despite her professional success, Carolyn faced personal difficulties that deeply affected her. At just 36 years old, her life came to a tragic end. While details surrounding her passing are limited, her story serves as a poignant reminder of the personal battles that individuals may face behind closed doors, highlighting the need for understanding and empathy. Pier Angeli. Pier Angeli was an Italian-born actress who found success in both European and American cinema. She starred in films like Teresa, for which she won a Golden Globe Award, and Battle of the Bulge. Her natural beauty and talent made her a celebrated figure in Hollywood. Her personal life was filled with high-profile relationships, including a well-known romance with actor James Dean. Despite her fame, Pier struggled with the pressures of the industry and her quest for personal happiness. At 39, her life ended in sorrow. Pier's story reflects the complexities of life in the spotlight and the challenges of balancing a public career with private fulfillment. Gia Scala. Gia Scala was a British-born actress of Italian and Irish descent who appeared in notable films such as The Guns of Navarone and Tip on a Dead Jockey. She was admired for her talent and striking presence on screen. Behind her successful career, Gia faced personal struggles, including battles with depression and substance abuse. The demands of Hollywood and her personal life created significant stress. At 38, Gia's life came to a somber close. Her passing underscored the challenges many face in the entertainment industry, highlighting the importance of mental health support and the understanding that success does not insulate one from hardship. Mary Ure. Mary Ure was a Scottish actress renowned for her work on stage and screen. She earned an Academy Award nomination for her role in Sons and Lovers and starred alongside Richard Burton in Where Eagles Dare. Her performances were celebrated for their intensity and depth. Despite her professional accolades, Mary grappled with personal issues and emotional turmoil. Balancing a demanding career with personal life challenges proved difficult. At 42, her life ended unexpectedly. Mary's story highlights the pressures actors often face and the importance of addressing mental health needs amidst professional demands. Lori Bird. Lori Bird was an American actress and photographer who appeared in only 3 films: Two-Lane Blacktop, Cockfighter, and a small role in Annie Hall. Despite her brief acting career, she left a memorable mark on the industry. At just 25 years old, Lori faced emotional struggles related to her personal life and the complexities of fame. Her life ended tragically, bringing attention to the challenges young artists may encounter as they navigate personal identity and public expectations. Lori's story emphasizes the need for support and understanding for those facing such pressures. Jean Seberg. An icon of French New Wave cinema, Jean Seberg gained fame for her role in Breathless, A Bout de Souffle. An American actress, she also starred in films like Paint Your Wagon, bridging European and American cinema. Jean faced significant personal and professional hardships, including being targeted by the FBI's COINTELPRO program due to her support of civil rights groups. The intense scrutiny and harassment took a toll on her mental health and career. At 40, her life ended under tragic circumstances. Jean's story highlights the profound impact that external pressures and political persecution can have on an individual's well-being. Imogen Hassall. British actress Imogen Hassall was known for films like When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth and Tomorrow. Often cast for her striking beauty, she was dubbed the Countess of Cleavage by the British press. Imogen struggled with depression and the frustrations of being typecast in her career. The lack of opportunities to showcase her full range of talent weighed heavily on her. At 38, her life came to a tragic end. Her story sheds light on the challenges faced by actresses in an industry that often prioritizes appearance over ability, emphasizing the need for change and support. Rachel Roberts. Rachel Roberts was a Welsh actress acclaimed for her powerful performances in British cinema. She received an Academy Award nomination for This Sporting Life and appeared in notable films like Murder on the Orient Express. Despite her success, Rachel battled with alcoholism, depression, and the aftermath of a turbulent marriage to actor Rex Harrison. The personal turmoil deeply affected her life. At 53, her life ended tragically. Rachel's story underscores the personal costs of emotional distress and addiction, highlighting the importance of seeking help and the impact of unresolved personal issues. Brenda Benet. Brenda Benet was an American actress known for her roles in soap operas like Days of Our Lives and films such as Walking Tall. She was married to actor Bill Bixby, and they had a son together. After the devastating loss of her 6-year-old son, Brenda was overwhelmed with grief. The personal tragedy profoundly affected her mental health. At 36, she passed away under sorrowful circumstances. Brenda's story highlights the profound impact that personal loss can have on an individual, emphasizing the need for support during such difficult times. Patricia Cutts. Patricia Cutts was a British actress who appeared in films and television, including Carrington v.C. and the popular series Coronation Street. She was recognized for her talent and contributions to British entertainment. Facing career pressures and personal challenges, Patricia struggled to cope with the demands placed upon her. At 48, her life ended tragically. Her passing highlights the difficulties actors may face behind the scenes and the importance of addressing mental health issues within the industry. Dalida. Dalida, born Iolanda Cristina Gigliotti, was an Egyptian-born French-Italian singer and actress who became an international star. With hits like Bambino, she captivated audiences worldwide and appeared in films such as No Time for Flowers. Despite her fame, Dalida faced ongoing struggles with depression and personal losses, including the tragic deaths of several close companions. The cumulative grief took a heavy toll on her. At 54, she passed away, leaving a note expressing her despair. Dalida's story highlights the profound effects of personal loss and the importance of mental health awareness, even for those who seem to have everything. Elizabeth Hartman. Elizabeth Hartman was an American actress who received an Academy Award nomination for her role in A Patch of Blue. She also voiced Mrs. Brisby in the beloved animated film The Secret of NIMH. Elizabeth struggled with depression and had withdrawn from acting in her later years. The pressures of the industry and personal challenges affected her deeply. At 43, her life ended tragically. Her story draws attention to the importance of mental health care and the challenges faced by those in creative professions, emphasizing the need for compassion and support. Capucine. Capucine, born Germaine Hélène Irène Lefebvre, was a French actress and fashion model known for her elegance and poise. She starred in films like The Pink Panther and What's New Pussycat, captivating audiences with her sophisticated charm. Despite her public image, Capucine suffered from depression for several years. The loneliness and pressures of her career contributed to her struggles. At 62, her life came to a tragic end. Capucine's story underscores that appearances can be deceiving and highlights the hidden battles that individuals may face, regardless of their success or grace. Margot Hemingway. Margot Hemingway was an American fashion model and actress, and the granddaughter of famed writer Ernest Hemingway. She starred in films like Lipstick and Killer Fish. Margot was one of the first models to secure a $1 million contract, symbolizing her significant impact on the fashion industry. She struggled with depression, alcoholism, and health issues such as epilepsy. The weight of her family's history, including multiple suicides, and the pressures of her career affected her deeply. At 42, Margot's life ended prematurely. Her passing highlights the potential genetic and environmental factors influencing mental health and the importance of addressing these issues openly. Christine Pascal. Christine Pascal was a French actress, writer, and director who made significant contributions to French cinema. She appeared in films like The Little Thief and directed Le Petit Prince à Deux, which received critical acclaim. Christine battled mental illness throughout her life. Despite her professional successes, she struggled to find peace. At 42, her life ended tragically. Her story highlights the challenges faced by creative individuals dealing with mental health issues and emphasizes the need for effective care and understanding within the industry. Daisy Keith. Daisy Keith was an American actress and the daughter of actor Brian Keith. She appeared alongside her father in the television series Heartland, showcasing her emerging talent. Tragically, at 27, Daisy's life ended under sorrowful circumstances. Her passing preceded her father's death by 2 months, marking a double tragedy for the family. Daisy's story highlights the devastating impact of mental health struggles within families and underscores the importance of supportive interventions and open dialogue about mental well-being. Olga Georges-Picot. Olga Georges-Picot was a French actress known for her role in The Day of the Jackal. Born in Shanghai, China, she graced both French and English-language films with her performances. Despite her professional accomplishments, Olga struggled with feelings of isolation and depression, particularly as she aged and faced a changing career landscape. At 57, her life ended tragically. Her story brings attention to the emotional challenges faced by actors, especially those confronting the difficulties of aging in an industry often focused on youth. Bryn Hartman. Bryn Hartman was an American model and aspiring actress, married to comedian and actor Phil Hartman. She had small roles in projects like North, but was primarily known through her association with her husband. Bryn struggled with substance abuse and mental health issues, which strained their marriage. In a tragic turn of events, she and Phil both lost their lives, leaving a profound impact on their family and the entertainment industry. The incident highlights the critical importance of addressing mental health and substance abuse issues and the devastating consequences when they remain unresolved. Dana Plato. Dana Plato was best known for her role as Kimberly Drummond on the television sitcom Different Strokes. As a child star, she became a familiar face to audiences across America. After leaving the show, Dana faced numerous challenges, including substance abuse and legal troubles. The pressures of early fame and difficulty transitioning to adult roles contributed to her struggles. At 34, her life ended tragically. Dana's story has become emblematic of the difficulties child actors can face, emphasizing the need for support systems to help young performers navigate the complexities of fame and personal development. The stories of these 26 actresses from Hollywood's golden age revealed the profound personal struggles that often remain hidden behind the allure of fame. Their lives and untimely deaths highlight the importance of mental health awareness, compassionate support, and understanding within and beyond the entertainment industry. As we honor their contributions to cinema, let us also recognize humanity and advocate greater empathy and resources for those facing similar challenges.